Hey Virgo, thank you for all your likes and subscriptions. And if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it if you did. Let's just jump in. So, at the bottom of the deck is this Three of Swords card. We don't like the Three of Swords, not one of our favorite cards, but this particular version has a silver lining. That's what I see. This is like a silver lining. And it is sort of the head and the heart meeting. And when the head and the heart meet, often the head just dispels some, maybe we've been fantasizing things or trying to talk us into things because we want it so badly, we can feel it. And the sword's like, all right, brings us back to reality. So sometimes it can be like the truth hurts, but it can be sort of like popping a balloon, like the reality of a situation. Yeah, it's like once you know something, you can't unknow it, and the reality of the situation has set in. So, I mean, it could be something like you've wanted this house, you've had your eye on this house, and when it comes right down to it, and you go to the bank's like, you can't get a loan for that house, or that's great that you made that offer and it was accepted, but you can't get a loan for that because the house doesn't appraise high enough for that loan. Something like that. So it could be in any sort of situation, but you're getting some news that sort of bursts your bubble or have recently. So let's turn, you even got a bonus card. Let's turn these over and see what we got here. Three of Wands. This energy at least has been coming up. The Three of Wands is like taking stock of where you are. Ooh, Two of Cups. Taking stock of where you are, where you've been, where you want to go. This can come up, and this probably comes up like in the northern hemisphere if you live somewhere cold, where you're like, I don't want to live here anymore. This weather sucks. I want to move to California, Florida, or the Caribbean. I've been watching a lot of, I don't even really like hot weather. Like I like the fall and the spring. Like those are my favorite times of the year. I've been finding myself watching Caribbean life and like fantasizing about moving to a Caribbean island, which is just ridiculous. Okay, so maybe that brought that up for a point. Maybe okay, these threes are related, this Three of Swords and this Three of Wands. Maybe there has been a situation. You're a fixed sign, so it's hard. It's not like me like as a fire sign that's sort of maybe flighty and it's like, yeah, let's just do this. It's much more grounded and practical and down to earth. But maybe you did have something that you've been fantasizing about. It could be a person, could be again moving, a job, something you've almost been romanticizing and fantasizing about. And you get a reality check. You've gotten a reality check. Or maybe this came up a lot for people around Valentine's Day, kind of having, wow, that was weird. The candle just almost had bubbles come up from it. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Yeah, something came to the surface, though. I have to pay attention to the signs, right? Something is coming up, bubbling up to the surface and sort of pop that bubble. And so maybe like around Valentine's Day, your significant other, you were like, hey, where are we going? This is that assessment. And when they were, not that you gave them an ultimatum, but when they were sort of really had to either express or tell you what they want, use their words. The Page of Swords, like, use your words, let's communicate. You guys didn't want the same thing. So it wasn't necessarily that they didn't want to be with you, but when you started saying, do you want kids? Do you not want kids? Where do you want to live? Where do you want to, you were like, you know what? This isn't going to work. We can't ignore the fact, again, this all of a sudden knowing something you didn't know. And so it wasn't even like this horrible breakup in the sense, and this could even be at work, like, I'm sorry, you have a sit down with your boss and they're like, there's nowhere else for you to go in this company. There is no room for advancement. And so the reality of the situation is like, crap, I need to find a different job. I'm going to be constantly frustrated here. I already know I can follow this through to the end, and it's not the end goal, the end that I want. So zooming back and really taking stock of where you've been, where you are now, and where you're going this month. This is really exploring your opportunities or your dreams, goals, what you may want. It's a real period to really reassess everything. You're going inside, doing some soul searching. But at the same time, I see this, it's like with this truth coming out and you really seeing things clearly, it's giving you this opportunity to move in a whole new direction. And if you can sort of let go of the disappointment of the whatever you had been doing, that just won't work out, you're realizing there's this whole new opportunity. Like, you're sort of free to just move forward however you want. So you really are like, yeah, I'm feeling it, this sense of freedom and excitement and this new beginning, and it's almost overwhelming. Like, what am I going to do? I can do anything, but I got to figure out what I'm going to do. But being the awesome that you are, you've laid the groundwork. So you are going to make a change, make a move. And since you've saved some money, or you've been planning this under this, you're always planning, right? You're methodical. You're always in the back of your head had these plans that you've been formulating and thinking about and laying the foundation for. And it's probably very well could be a creative pursuit, or this Empress, like it allows you to bring in the right match, whether it's the right romantic match or the right career or hobby or whatever you like to do with your time. This whole situation here was the catalyst, or by that going away, it's allowing for all this amazing stuff to come in. I see you meeting someone that you're going to have a family and children and grandchildren and starting a whole legacy with. I think you're maybe going to feel like in some way until now, you've just been going through the motions and sort of telling yourself that maybe some of you were like with someone from like high school, and you were like, we're going to be together always. But, you maybe grown up and changed, and you love them so much, but on some level, it's like, this just isn't working. And you sort of on some level just said, okay, I need to accept this. This is just the way it's going to be. I'm just going to have this boring, unfulfilling career. I'm just going to live here for, there's like you resigned yourself to something, and you couldn't be in that type of denial anymore. And while it may have been tough to hear and to accept, you're now like dreaming and like the sky's the limit and healing and moving forward. And you can't believe how much sort of creativity and how many plans you have that you can now move forward that you had sort of at some point in your life just said, oh, yeah, don't dream about doing that because that's just never going to happen the way things are. Just stuff that away. Those, you're like, oh my God, I can now do this. I can do these things. I can move forward. So it's a very freeing, it's one of those situations where it's like going to be the best thing that ever happened to you. You will have learned tremendously for it. You will have been grateful that you had the experience and went through it because you leveled up so much that you're just on this whole other amazing path in life that you would have never gotten to without that experience. Really deep readings are coming. This is a pretty cool month. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your likes and subscriptions. And if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it if you did. And I'll see you at the next video. Take care.